Lucky's Restaurant at 202 U.S. Highway 90 East in Castroville. Sports for Supper, a weekly look at what's happening in area sports. And now, along with Maury Stein, Dwayne Garza, and Jeff Stivers, here's the host of Sports for Supper, Jared Lucky.
Good evening and welcome to Sports for Supper, brought to you by Brenda Stein Photography. We are here starting a little bit early tonight because of Game 7 of the World Series, so that way everyone can get home and try to watch it in about an hour. We're going to go ahead and jump right into things here. I'm Jared Lucky along with Maury Stein, Dwayne Garza, and Jeff Stivers, and we're going to have Coach Crisp on here with us, and we'll jump right into that. And Coach Crisp, thanks for joining us again here this evening. It's always a pleasure to have you.
It's always fun to be here.
And, Coach, you're coming off 3 straight victories. You had a 54-13 win against Memorial last week. You got a big game coming up against Alamo Heights. Kind of walk us through this week in practice.
It's been a good week, despite the weather. It's been a little wet, and we've haven't backed down. We're going to make sure we go out there no matter what the elements were like. No lightning, of course, but we're going to have to play in it possibly at some point in the season. Hopefully our season gets extended if we do everything the way we're supposed to. And so we said we're not going to let the weather affect us. We're going to just, focus on us, focus on doing the things, kind of what we've been preaching since the beginning. So it's been a good week. Today was really good. Thankfully all the rain that they promised held off, and we were able to get out there. Phil was good enough to get some work done, and the kids looked sharp. They were a little more frisky today than they are. Like when I had my Huskies back, when it would get cold, they'd be running around the yard. That's the way the kids were today. So I'm hoping that carries over to Friday.
Well, the weather's supposed to be dry, but say it's a wet field. Do you practice any different? Do you wet the balls down during practice, or how does that transpire into the game on a Friday night?
Yeah, well, they were wet down for us the last 2 days. So but we went out there. We still threw routes. We still tried to catch them. I mean, it was ugly. It was sloppy, but had to live through it. And the progression. They got better as it went on. If you practice throwing with a wet ball, practice catching a wet ball, and doing all those things, you got to run routes and on wet turf. They had to change the way that they were taking off from the line. I think you have to practice that kind of, especially when we're one of the few schools that still has a grass field, and we love it. It's a great advantage, but we need to know how to play on it, and so going through that kind of thing gives us good experience now.
Coach, against Memorial, you had all 3 facets of your game. Your special teams, defense, offense, all looked very good in that game. Coming in against Alamo Heights, what are you trying to do to keep that going in against a pretty good Alamo Heights team?
I mean, it's kind of the focus is just maintaining the execution that we saw last week, and the week before we saw a little bit of a kind of a snafu on that, and like you said, it's kind of an odd place and everything else. We didn't get a return because we couldn't see the ball when it got punted, but we spent a little more time on special teams this week. We spent a little more time, going through the kind of more walkthrough stuff. It's like this time of season, you get into the polish aspect of things. We know what we do. We know who we are. We've really figured out our identity defensively, offensively, and now it's it's about the quality of the reps, not necessarily the quantity. And that's kind of been the focus, is making sure that we're doing the things right, and a lot of film study and that kind of thing to kind of help us get there.
And speaking of a lot of film, Alamo Heights, we know they throw the ball a lot. From when we've seen that quarterback threw the ball 75 times a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. What are they going to show you here this week, defensively and offensively?
Defensively, they've got a great. I would say their defensive line is probably their strongest part of their defense. They got big guys that are very mobile, do a great job reading, good big inside linebackers. Just tough up front. And then in the secondary, they'll play some man concepts. The cover 4 looks here and there. They try to play some games and make you keep you on your toes. But versus us, they're going to be loading the box, probably looking for the run, and we've got some things to try to throw at them to take advantage of that. But I think we match up well. I think our philosophy offensively kind of matches up well versus what they do offensively, and so. We'll see. We execute, and I think we'll be fine.
Defensively, like we just said, they pass a lot. Are we Any modifications to adjust to that, or
You know,
you
Coach,
take it weekly, or is it
Yeah.
per game, or is it
You know,
business as usual?
well, I think the mentality of the defense is kind of always a business as usual. We're going to be who we are, but you know, every team's going to give you certain people you have to focus on, or certain things that you have to do, and based on formation, you know, Coach Moreno, both of Coach Moreno's do a great job of being able to break that stuff down. You know, having worked with those guys the last 2 years on the defensive side of the ball, they do a great job dissecting the offense of the other team, and there's some things in there, that some little wrinkles that they'll install that will be specific to this week. And you know, I always trust that those guys are going to get it done. You know, we've had nothing but I've had nothing but trust for this. You know, I knew that our defense was going to keep us going, and so I kind of feel like that maybe is where our advantage lies this week, is in our defense.
Yeah, and I think we're, as a team, we're getting stronger every week. I know you said that we're polished a while ago, and against Memorial, as an outsider looking in, as a fan, you didn't see a whole lot wrong in that game. A lot of things work. You see a lot of things coming together, and especially as the special teams have really come together the last few weeks. You've kind of got things figured out. We've got the situation with the kicker figured out. I think we got an established punter, and the defensive part of the special teams are blocking, getting to the kickers and stuff. So things are looking good.
Yeah, that's you know, one of the encouraging things about last week, and you know, Memorial. You can never. I never feel comfortable playing a team like Memorial, because they have kids that will fight to the very end. We saw that. You know, they didn't give up.
No.
You know, they scored 14 points, 13 points in the second half, but you kind of worry about, are we going to be overlooking that? You know, kind of like I think maybe what we did, you know, when we went out to Uvalde.
Right.
I think our defense kind of maybe assumed that things were going to kind of click, but we didn't show any kind of letdown. We played our game, and despite the opponent, and I think it says a lot about the kids and their mentality and kind of the buy-in right now.
Well, one of the things I saw too, and we talked about this against Kennedy or so, is when the second unit went in, you didn't see much change. Things kept motoring along just like the first unit did. They looked good. They looked sharp out there. And one of the things that I liked seeing was giving them the opportunity right away in the second half to get some playing time, get some experience. And to me, I mean, I think that's a great coaching move.
Yeah.
Well, that would have been my question. How do you kind of keep the attention of the young men that you coach when – and I'm not saying that Kennedy and Memorial are not good programs, but they just don't have the numbers and don't have the athletes that can compare to some of the upper echelon teams in the district. How do you keep your team focused from playing a team like Kennedy Memorial, knowing that you have Alamo Heights or Uvalde coming up next? How do you keep their focus, and how do you not, as a team, want to show what you want to try to do against Alamo Heights and keep it under wraps and keep everything going?
Yeah, I think that's an easy trap to fall into, where you start looking ahead to that next week because you're more concerned with maybe the next team. And you know, it's been our philosophy, and that's just always been the way I've seen things, is you can never overlook anyone. I've always, you know, going back to this when I was coaching soccer, we were always that team that nobody ever really looked at as a threat, and so we were always looking to jump up and get somebody. You know, I've worked at some schools where that was kind of like that would make our season. To, you know, when I worked at Lee High School, I mean, if we could jump up and catch somebody like a Reagan or a Churchill, I mean, and there were times that, you know, we'd go into halftime ahead, you know, and then that kind of thing falls into place. So that's always present in my mind. It's very, you know, what we're doing this week, what we have to take care of right now, what's in front of us, and we just kind of, I don't know, kind of hit them with that hammer over the head, you know, over and over and over about this week, do what's right now, and we'll deal with next week later on. That's I don't know how else to keep their focus.
So as a coach, you've been on both sides of that situation and exactly know what to prepare for when you're the underdog and you're the favorite. And how do you think that your progression as being a coach and now coming and becoming the AD and the head coach of Medina Valley, how do you think that your career from start to right now has helped you?
Well, I've been all over the place. You know, I started at MacArthur, which was we had some success and we struggled sometimes. And, you know, having gone from there to Southwest and Lee, working with a different type of kid, you know, and you know, some of that has to do with, you know, numbers that you have or, how, you know, what district you're in. And then, you know, spent a couple years at Reagan High School where you're dealing with an entirely different, you know, Kellen Mond was at Reagan when I was there. And that was like I was unused to coaching guys like that. And then the time I spent at Clarkwood, back kind of in that middle area, when you can kind of when you get around a lot of different types of kids, you I guess you're seasoned about how to deal with this or that or the other thing. And that I feel like that's helped me, be able to relate and understand how to motivate or get a point across. And and then also, when you know you're going to win, and how do you handle that? And when you know you're probably not going to win, how do you handle that? How do you prepare the kids? How do you get them to keep coming up, keep showing up, fighting, and that kind of thing? So I've been blessed in my career. Not that I chose to go to all those places, necessarily that wasn't my plan, but it worked out in a way that I think benefits me, and that's the way I try to look at everything. So,
Coach, I have one more question for you about the game coming up this
Okay.
week. Obviously, we know they throw a lot. Do they spread the ball out pretty well, or did they have like one good receiver or two good receivers?
I think they've got 2 or 3 good guys receiver wide. They got their number 21's a wide out, big fella. He runs good routes, great hands. You've seen him catch pretty much anything. And then they got number 5, which is the younger Proctor brother.
Oh, yeah, I remember
and
him.
He's a
from
guy
last year.
that they'll use him in the backfield. They'll motion him across. They do all kind of things with him, and so he's kind of like he's like a wild card. You gotta know where he's at and try to see what they're planning to do with him. And I think they got a big guy. I want to say his number is 84. Big tall wide receiver out there that he's one of those guys that if you throw it up there, he might just get it just because he's taller than you are. So quarterback does a great job putting the ball where he needs to be, and the line seems to give him enough protection. But I'm still confident that our guys are going to frustrate them and put them in situations that they're not used to. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we healthy? We
Yes.
have any Pardos coming back? Is what
He's
he kind
practiced
of.
all week, so
Sounds good.
Quick healer.
Mhm.
Always has been.
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, Coach, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it again. Good luck this week, and hopefully we'll see you back here another time this year.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right,
Absolutely.
we're going to take a quick break and come back. You're listening to Sports for Supper, and we'll continue here in just a moment.
This is MVBN, the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
Headed out to the game? Then make a stop at your local Valley Mart convenience store. With 12 area locations, Valley Mart is always right around the corner. Fuel yourself and your vehicle with quality branded gas and diesel, snacks, and fountain drinks. Always convenient, well lit with clean restrooms. Valley Mart, family owned and operated since 1984, and a proud supporter of Medina Valley athletics and area youth sports for over 30 years.
Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries. This includes hose reels, big guns, pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine well pumps, booster pumps, motors, valves, and an inventory of much more. Stop by one of their locations in Hondo and Pearsall, or give them a call at 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment, bringing water to you.
Medina Electric Cooperative is sending 3 students on the trip of a lifetime for free. The 2020 Government in Action Youth Tour is an all-expenses-paid week-long learning and leadership event in June that starts in Austin and then takes kids to Washington, D.C. Winners also receive a $500 scholarship for college. The deadline is December 13th, 2019. Apply online at Medina.
You're watching Medina Valley Sports. This is the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
All right, welcome back here to Sports for Supper, and we just had
The abbreviated version.
Yeah, the abbreviated version with Game 7 tonight. We just had Coach Crisp on here, and now we have a couple of the players, and we'll start with Mr. Tomaselli over there. And you've been on before.
Yes, sir.
And you're a defensive back, right? And you're
Yes,
on
sir.
special teams.
Yes, sir.
And a sophomore.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about the Memorial game.
It changed in the beginning after my injury, but then I got the trainers to look at it, and then I asked Coach if I could go back in. He said, yeah. I went back out there and just had fun.
Explain to the crowd what
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah.
Because we're looking at you and we
yeah.
can tell,
Yeah,
but
you
what
can-
injury
we
you
can
talking
see it
about?
from here.
My injury is opening kickoff, and I broke my nose.
He is sporting 2 black eyes right across the table.
How did that
from us
happen?
Right
Did someone stick their fist through your face mask, or what happened there?
Actually, he was running down my lane, and he came running. He cut towards the middle, and I broke down to hit him. But when I did, I came in from the side too much, and his shoulder pad just snuck right in.
It was a shoulder pad.
It was a shoulder pad, and it just got me perfectly.
You have 2 beautiful shiners, let me tell you.
Yes, sir.
That's good rallying scars, though. You can use that in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah.
I like the look, though. It's intimidating.
Yes, sir. And then Saturday, I went to the doctors, and he said I could play. So I've been practicing all week.
But you stayed playing after
sir.
the trainers and everything looked at it, and Coach
So this was on the
trainer
first,
Randy Newman said you were good to go.
The first
Yes, sir.
play is when this happened, correct? Right,
Yes,
and you
sir.
stayed the whole game and toughed it out. Well, good for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You had a pick six.
Yes, sir.
You had a pick six. We just talked to Coach Crisp a little bit about the passing game for Alamo Heights. So
Yes, sir.
you, as you're one of the younger ones. You're a sophomore.
Yes, sir.
But you've done a fine job defense. Had a pick six. Your confidence level against a passing team. I mean, it's got to be skyrocketing right now.
Oh, yes, sir. It's I've been waiting for a passing team all this season. I was hoping for a champion, but with Luke Boyers in the backfield, I wasn't really expecting them to throw it. But with Tyvee next week and Heights this week, I think it'll be really fun.
So how is your mind frame going into a game where you know Alamo Heights could throw the ball 75 times and not run it 75 times? You like that better in pass support, or would you rather come up in run support?
I like knowing that they're gonna throw a lot. It'll really show what I can do and then what I need to work on later. It'll be fun.
Talk us through your pick six last week.
I got the call. It was 4th down. I thought they were gonna punt, so I lined up man. And then when he broke down, he ran 10-yard stop. And then when he broke down, I turned around with him, and he threw it right in my arm. So I got it. And I was running back down, and then a lineman came in. So I had to stop. And then all I see is Tanner Bippert come in front of me and just block the last guy. And then I saw a wide open hole.
When you watched it back the next morning on game film, who was putting the pressure on the punter, or who was supposed to be the punter that forced him to throw the ball?
I didn't really look at that. I had to watch my guy. I had to watch myself because I was almost offsides. I was almost offsides, so I had to watch that.
Because it almost seemed like Taylor and Seth were there charging on the play, and it forced the punter to throw it a little, I say prematurely, but you had him read the whole way and had him picked off. Did you know when you intercepted, hey, I got a chance to take it to the house?
Yes, sir. I saw how many people I had in front of me on my team blocking for me, and I thought I had a good chance.
So Tanner made the final block to get you into the end zone?
Yes, sir. Tanner did. He blocked the last guy for me to have a wide open hole.
Did you buy him lunch during school this week?
No, sir.
I'm kidding.
I probably should.
No. He's just doing his job like you
absolutely.
Yes,
And you guys played good on special teams again, and then defensively, Taylor Weir had a scoop and score again last week. You got anything predicted for the game this week?
I'm hoping for a pick six again, but we'll have to see how it plays out.
I'm writing it down.
We'll have to see how it plans out. I feel like we'll have a good chance.
Who is their biggest threat in the passing game?
Besides
the Proctor boy?
Like Coach Crisp said, 21 in Proctor. And then I have to watch out for the number 11, too.
Who is, he mentioned number 84, which is the big target. Who's his responsibility?
84. I don't really honestly know because me and Tanner have been focusing on Proctor and 21 because it's depending on where they are. It's depending on where me and Tanner are going to go. So.
Good.
Awesome. And, well, good luck this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
good luck.
And hopefully we see you again in here because I know.
I wrote it down.
Yeah, y'all keep playing special teams and defense well. And we'll move the mic over, and we have someone new in here this week. And if you'll give us your name, number, position, and what year you are in school.
My name's Justin Huntniak. I'm number 64, and I play right guard, and I'm a junior.
and you've got the task of blocking for your running backs and protecting Charlie Marsh. Talk us through like a day at practice.
So we start practice on just trying to stay low. We go run through all our steps, and then we hit our sled, and her name is Big Bertha. So we start off fourth period like that, hitting the sleds, and then after that, if it's a Monday, we'll go over the plays and what their defense is going to line up in, and then past Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, we just go against our defense, just getting ready for the game.
Does who is on the other side on defense for Alamo Heights that y'all really have to worry about? I know the last couple of years they had a linebacker, Carabin. He's gone and went up to play college football. Do they have anybody else that's that dominant on the defensive side coming up?
They have some pretty big guys. They have I know their right defensive tackle. He likes to crash down hard, so he's going to be running to my shoulder a lot. And then they're a linebacker. He plays on the far left side. He's a pretty swole dude. He's going to crash down a lot too. They're just pretty aggressive overall, and then their nose is pretty big as well, but nothing we can't handle.
So who do you have on your left side? Who's the tackle on your left side?
So on my right side, I have Lackey, and then on my left side, I got Spencer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's two good pieces to have around you. What would you rather do, pass block or run block?
I love the run block. It's
why?
Because I like hitting people.
How many pancakes do you have this year?
Well, I got 6 on the Memorial game, and then I had 4 in the Uvalde game, and I wasn't keeping count before that.
But on go back to the Uvalde game, that last possession, we saw y'all come to the sidelines after it was 4 and out, and the defense had to hold. Y'all got back on the sidelines, and none of y'all sat down. Y'all were all standing because y'all knew you were going to get another chance. What's the mental aspect knowing that, hey, this is going to be our last chance? We're going to get it done.
Well, it's basically it's communication. Like through most of the game, we're always talking between each other, saying, "Oh, yeah, this guy likes to do this a lot. This guy, if I can't get rid of him, you just run through him, go to the backer." So we were pretty confident that we were going to be able to score again, and we were just ready to punch him in the mouth.
I know that you guys don't miss a lot of blocks, but knowing that you have a running back like James Gibson who can run through tackles, if you have one of your guys that you're on get to him, what kind of confidence that give you knowing that, if you do make a mistake, he can still get past that guy?
Well, it gives us a lot of confidence. Last year I was on JV. I had Ethan, and I'd be blocking somebody, and he'd run into my back, and I'd feel him like, oh, okay, just keep going. But James, he runs into your back, you're going down.
I'll tell you, ask Garrison. That's what happened to Garrison early in the game, and he didn't get up. James went right through him.
But if when the play is called, is there a different philosophy that goes through your mind and saying, okay, 45 is going to get it this time, now 23 is going to get it. Well, I need to chip a little bit more and get downfield and establish that second block for Wesley.
Well, yeah. So when for us linemen, sometimes we might know who it is just to how do the players react in the huddle, but most of the time it's just get your guy and we'll figure it out. But with James, he's going to get some yards. The best thing you can do is kind of carry on with him and just go in downfield. And Wesley, he likes to run outside a lot, and so for me, if it's a pull play, then I'm taking my guy out. I really won't be able to help him much. But on the left side, it's whatever.
So usually when Wesley carries the ball, it's away from you?
Yeah, most of the time. He's more of an outsider run guy, so we can't help much with that.
And Justin, I know you a little bit because I helped coach you a little bit when you were playing baseball. But the difference between you on a baseball field and a football field is night and day. When I knew you in baseball, he was a real quiet guy. You did what he was told. But I did not expect you to be such a leader on the football field, because I've seen you go up and down the sidelines and be very vocal and pump the kids up. Is that something you really enjoy doing?
Yeah, football, I mean, just due to how much the teams talk and between plays, it gets me really pumped up to hit the guy and, you know.
I saw him one guy. I don't know if it was Uvalde or what game it was, but you were up and down the sidelines and you were getting them fired up.
So there's a lot of trash talk going on between the two sides.
Heights isn't going to be any different.
No.
No.
We're going to talk a lot.
Yeah.
Just the last week when we were doing the JV game, the Memorial game, a lot of the players come up and sit in the press box after y'all have the lunch, after y'all have the dinner. And every one of those young men that came up there said there was so much chippiness and talking from the start of the Uvalde game. How does that motivate you when somebody on the other side, you can't repeat on the microphone what they say, but how does that motivate you and saying, okay, that's all right, just keep talking?
Well, it's more of a thing because we get to hit them every play. I mean, there's not a play where we don't get to hit the dude in front of us. So it's more of a how many people you can hit in one go.
That's good.
If you go through your tackle and go to the backer and then just keep going, it's I mean it motivates me a lot. It gets me pumped up. I don't get tired. I just get the urge to hit another person.
Fires you up a little more.
Yeah.
I love it.
Do you play any other sports other than football?
Yeah. So right now it's football, and then I'm going to do powerlifting, and then I'm going to.
Looks like you've been doing powerlifting.
Yeah, I did it a little bit on freshman year, and then sophomore year I kind of took a break, but I kept lifting. It just wasn't powerlifting. Who
is taking over for Coach Ardano that left? Who's going to take over the powerlifting program now?
I think it's Seth's dad. I'm not too sure.
Dave Stewart?
Yeah, I think so.
So who is the guy that's going to be over you
for
this week against Alamo Heights?
I won't have anybody head up against me, but I know the defensive tackle, he's going to be lined up in a 4. So basically right up on the tackle, Lackey, and then he's just going to come down and try to blow my shoulder up to mess up the plays. But I'm going to be ready for him.
You going to have a lot of Aunt Jemima syrup for all those pancakes you're going to give him?
Yeah.
Looking forward to it?
Yeah, I am.
Michael, what other sports do you play?
I play soccer and track.
And what position in soccer?
Soccer, I'm a goalie. And then track, I run hurdles.
How far?
300 meter. That's probably my favorite.
That's brutal. I used to run those, and I couldn't get over the fourth one after I got
track
tired.
Is brutal, period.
So both of you guys, the practices have been good. Y'all feel like you're ready to take on the Mules and come out of Orange Stadium with a victory?
Well, I think we're confident enough to do it. I feel like we can.
Well, good luck to you guys.
Yeah, good luck this week. Thanks for coming on and being with us here on the show. And
thank you.
Good luck. And
1 pick six and 4 pancakes.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, we're going to take a break and come back. You're listening to Sports for Supper, and we'll continue here in just a moment.
This is MVBN, the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
Nobody can design, create, or maintain your lawn better than 3D Landscaping and Irrigation. With over 17 years of experience, owner Ray Doyen and his crew take pride in their craftsmanship and service. They're fully insured, offer free estimates, and multiple references, so you know you're getting the best. 3D does landscaping, lawn maintenance, irrigation, tree installation, lighting, and more. Whether it's residential or commercial, 3D Landscaping and Irrigation has you covered. Give 3D a call at 830-985-9115 or find us online at threedlandscaping.com.
Double T Outfitters offers deer, dove, turkey, quail, and exotic hunts in Southwest Texas on over 20,000 low-fenced acres. They facilitate professional guide services, lodging, and fantastic meals while providing the best in Southwest hunting. Contact Double T Outfitters to find out details about their current package hunts. Contact owner Brett Ferguson at 210-413-1597 or online at doubleteating.com.
Buying a new house means a lot of decisions, starting with where are you going to get the best mortgage? At our bank, we offer competitive rates, flexible terms, expert-friendly advice, and without the long wait you get from one of those big city financials. Make your dream home a reality. Talk with us. We're an equal housing lender. Come home to Castroville State Bank. Member FDIC. Visit us online at CastrovilleStateBank.com.
You're watching Medina Valley Sports. This is the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
Welcome back here to Sports for Supper. We just had some of the football players on, and good luck to them this week. Our broadcast here at Sammy's brought to you by Brenda Stein Photography. And I'll pull up the
abbreviated
Sports for
portion
Supper.
Of Sports for Supper because the Astros are in Game 7, but our title sponsor, Jared?
Brenda Stein is a photographer in Castroville who specializes in senior or graduate family and sports photography. With her quality customer service and expertise in capturing the beauty you see in your graduate and family, you'll walk away with an experience to remember. She can even customize a graduation card to celebrate your graduate. Call 210-415-9873 or visit www.brendasteinphotos.com to schedule a graduate or family session today. As always, thank you to Brenda Stein Photography, all of our sponsors, and Sammy's Restaurant for letting us host the show here.
And Brenda was there last night at the volleyball game taking pictures.
I was about to say, on her Facebook page, you could go to her Facebook page right now and see some really nice shots from the volleyball game. So.
I also want to let me read this from the Athletic Booster real quick. The Medina Valley Athletic Boosters is gearing up for volleyball playoffs starting next week, and we will be giving away 125 orange rally towels sponsored by North Park Chevrolet at the first volleyball playoff game. We are currently in the middle of our major fundraiser for the year, which is 30 prizes in 30 days. We have 1,000 tickets to sell, and these funds go towards scholarships and help supplement supplies for each of our teams. This year, we gave $10,000 in scholarships and gave back over $10,000 to our sports teams. Your support is appreciated. You can purchase tickets at Jukes, Hillside Boutique Hotel, Community National Bank in Castroville and Lacoste, 3D Landscaping, MV Panther Store, Minnick Grain and Feed Store, volleyball and middle school football concession stands, or send us a message via Facebook. We will begin the raffle when all 1,000 tickets are sold. You can follow MV Athletic Boosters on Facebook at Medina Valley Athletic Booster Club. Best of luck to all our Panther teams.
And if you're wondering how they pick the winners, it is all done via the lottery. It is the weekly game that goes on, so you have numbers all the way from 000 to 9999.
And I think
so. All you have to do is you just have to watch the drawing, and if they draw your number, that's how you win. So it's all random drawing. Nothing is done by anybody that sells a ticket, so there cannot be anything out of the ordinary that happens. Everything is fair. And hey,
and I think it's the evening drawing is the one they use because I think the pick 3 is 3 times a day, and I think they use the evening drawing. I think you can watch it live also.
Yes, you can. It's on.
And if you're looking for tickets, I've got a stack too. I'm selling tickets, so if you need to,
and when he says that is
Dwayne Garza.
There you go.
And you can look me up, and I mean, if you want to buy some tickets, I'll be more than happy to sell them for you.
And Dwayne, you want to give a volleyball report real fast?
And a good one.
Well, regular season ended last year. Oh, last night. Not last year.
On a win.
On a win. They took Southside 3-1. I made a mistake, though, last night. At the end of the broadcast, I said they were one game away from breaking the record. I was wrong. They broke the school record last night with 30 wins for the season.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to Coach Griggs and the whole team. Last year they finished the season with 29 wins. This year they broke it last night. Overall record is 30 wins, 14 losses, and they finished district play with a 14-2 record. With that being said, they nailed down the second place spot, heading for by-district play on Tuesday. They don't know who they play yet. Right now it's Jefferson and Highlands are tied for second and third place.
Actually, they're they're tied for third and fourth.
Third and fourth with 10 and 5 is what the paper said this morning.
It is third. You're right. You're right.
But they they didn't finish last night like Medina Valley did.
Well, they had even records. So they're doing a playoff game, one playoff game this weekend to determine
a one match
determines the third. I mean, the third and the fourth spot.
Jefferson and Highlands. So we will play either one of those two.
We'll play either one of those two, and what it looks like right now, it'll be Tuesday, 7:30 at South San High School.
Okay.
So that's the volleyball update. Doing a really good job. Looked good last night. It was it was parents' night. Me personally, it was an emotional night for me. It was my daughter's last home game or last regular season game. So it finished on a good note, but ready to start the second season. This first season, guys, started way back on August 1st when 2 days started. So it's been a long road. 44 games is what they ended up playing so far.
With your knowledge of everything, we have played Jefferson already before this year.
Yes. We played them.
Who would the Panthers prefer to play, Jefferson or Highlands?
Well, we know what Jefferson has. We didn't play Highlands this year. However, when we played Jefferson, we won in 5 sets. It took all 5 sets to beat them. I believe we have a better team. We lost the first 2 sets, won the 3 following that to win that match. So Jefferson historically has had a really good volleyball program. Myself, I'd prefer to go up against Highlands, to somebody different. I guess it determines on the outcome of this one match. I almost would like to go see it to see what they got. So I'm sure we'll have some scouts there. Coach Griggs does a good job of sending out some of her coaching staff to go scout the opposing teams and see what they have. So it's going to be interesting.
Pretty big football game Friday night, too, though.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
With your son playing that you might not want to miss.
Yeah, well, and that's going to help, too, that we don't have to play Friday in volleyball, so I actually get to watch my wife and I get to sit together for once and watch the kids play a game. So we'll be watching football on Friday. And
you can sit right by us.
Yeah, because we'll be in the stands.
We're going to be in the bleachers.
Yep.
So we'll roll over on Tuesday night to go watch the volleyball team play.
Yep, and with that game coming up Friday night, guys, let's talk about some of the key points to that game because we know they throw the ball, and I think the main key point is you can't let them have the big play. You gotta limit them to big plays.
And that came from the first week of the season when we had Coach Mo up here. Do not let them have the big play.
Yeah, and it's going to be extra important against a team like Alamo Heights who can throw very well and can score quickly. If you can limit the big plays, you have to execute offensively. And I think if they can move the ball and grind that clock down, they're going to be able to limit the possessions Alamo Heights has.
So the beginning of the year, Coach Chris was on here, and he said this offense is designed to be a time eater. Y'all remember that?
Yes.
He said this is what our offense – well, we're going to be 9 weeks into it now. So the offense has gotten better. We know that they're running the ball better. Quarterback's gotten better hitting the under routes, throwing the long ball once or twice. I mean, you've got to be able to control the clock against Alamo Heights. And the second thing I believe you have to do is you're going to have to win the turnover battle.
That's exactly what I was going to say,
You're going to have to Alamo Heights is going to score.
You win the turnovers,
they're probably
going to
score. So what you need to do is create extra possessions for yourself. And the way you do that is by winning the turnover battle.
Well, the special teams will probably come up big again this week, and that's what I want to see.
Yep.
It's made a difference the last few games, and it's exciting to watch the special teams make plays.
Yeah, hey, the good thing about that is, Dwayne, every team that we're about to play is also watching that. So guess what they're spending a lot of their practice time on?
Working on their special teams.
Special
Yeah,
teams.
Absolutely.
Let them watch.
Yep.
We're tough to beat on special teams. Hopefully they can keep the momentum going with that. I think, to me, that's going to be the difference. The pass defense and special teams will make or break us this game.
Yeah, front four needs to have a good game again like they did this past week.
Yeah, and, it's hard this week. You got 2 games left, Alamo Heights and Tivy. Everyone's starting to kind of look at the playoff picture.
Yeah.
And it's a very messed up playoff picture.
As it was last year.
Yeah, there are a lot of scenarios that, I haven't even sat down and looked at all of them, but when you start thinking about it, there's just a ton of things that could happen. But the main thing for Medina Valley is just beat Alamo Heights.
That's it.
Just beat Alamo Heights.
Two big games coming up Friday, Medina Valley and Alamo Heights and Lockhart
and Tivy.
So Uvalde has been eliminated with 4 losses. Nobody with 4 losses is going to get in.
Yeah, but then look at next week. Alamo Heights has to play Bernie Champion still next week, so there's a lot of things that can happen.
And this week is going to determine a lot, too. You need to take care of business tonight.
Yep.
And if the right things happen, we'll see. It happens.
So one of the 4 is not going to make the playoffs, which would be us, Lockhart, Alamo Heights, or Bernie Champion. Is that right?
Bernie Champion's in.
So you got 3 teams
loss.
for 2 spots.
3 teams, so it's Alamo Heights, ourselves, and Lockhart.
Yeah.
Okay, for 2 spots.
Pretty much, yep. That's it.
And honestly, if Lockhart beats Kerrville, they're going to be the 3rd place team.
Well,
so then it
if
just
Lockhart,
comes down to
if Lockhart,
and it'll be a head-to-head battle.
If Lockhart beats Kerrville,
and we beat Alamo Heights,
next week Alamo Heights beats Bernie, Medina Valley beats Kerrville.
That's right.
Then you got some 2.
You got
some 2-loss teams that are vying for the district title, and then it comes down to the points, and we'll get into that after we beat Alamo Heights, and we'll talk about it next Wednesday here at Sport for Supper at Sammy's.
Yep.
It'll clear it up a little bit, but it'll still be murky.
Well,
hey, we got 10 minutes.
I'd like to remind everyone to tune in Friday night. We will be live from Orem Stadium at Alamo Heights. We will be in the visitor bleachers because they don't let us in the press box up there.
Well, you can sit with the rest of us, Jared.
Yep, absolutely.
Bring your floor heaters.
Yep, and we'll be there to bring you the game.
It was very exciting the last time we were in the bleachers on our visitor side. It was a 1-point ball game.
Yep,
victory
absolutely.
Against Uvalde.
Going to Alamo Heights is a lot like going to Uvalde. No telling what can happen at that stadium.
Well, and let me prepare y'all. I've already talked to you guys about the parking situation over there.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all have a spot reserved, but you guys have a spot reserved. Sorry, Dwayne, you're on your own. But for everybody else, and I asked the Alamo Heights secretary to send this information to the Medina Valley secretary. There is no parking around the stadium, she said. She said that everybody on the visiting team has to park at the Methodist Church and be shuttled over to the game.
Oh, yeah, that's down the street. See, when I went last year to see Tivy play them, I parked in the school parking lot and walked over there.
They're tearing down the home side of the stadium after Alamo Heights is eliminated in the football playoffs.
So Saturday.
So Saturday or yeah.
They still have one more week to go.
They still have a week after that. But they're going to tear down. They're going to rebuild press box and everything else, kind of like Medina Valley needs to do. But then they also don't have a gym. The Mule Dome got tore down and it's being rebuilt. So there's a lot of construction.
That to happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of construction going on around there. So if you're listening, spread the word. Go early because you're going to have to park at the Methodist Church and be shuttled over.
Yeah,
absolutely. Or just stay home and tune into MV Broadcast Network and listen to the game, and then you can get prepared to go hunting. And
I'd rather everybody be at the stadium and be loud.
Yeah,
be loud and be there for the Panthers.
We'll be 7:30 kickoff. We'll be on the air around 7:10, 7:15 area. You can tune in on the Medina Valley Broadcast Network, Facebook Live, Twitter, or YouTube. You can get us at Medina Valley Broadcast Network. Click on the stream that says Medina Valley at Alamo Heights, and we will be live for that game. I'd like to thank our sponsors one more time for making it possible to bring you this broadcast here from Sammy's Restaurant, and thank you to Sammy's for letting us host this show here, and thank you to Brenda Stein Photography.
I want to say good luck also to all the hunters going out this weekend. Maury and I myself wore the camo today, and for hunting season starting Saturday morning, and hope we all get out there and get yourself a good one.
Yep, and
must be nice, all you rich people that got places to go hunt. I can't afford it.
All you got to do is go across the street and hunt for free.
There's plenty of roads to hunt on, Jeff.
Plenty of roads. Yeah, I just go right across.
Well, good luck to the Astros tonight. We had an abbreviated show here, but we're gonna cut it short right now so we can all go home and watch Game 7.
Go Astros!
Tune in live Friday night, 7:10 airtime, 7:30 kickoff. You're listening for Maury, Dwayne, and Jeff. I'm Jared Lucky saying good night, God bless, and we will see you Friday night when Panther football continues.
This is MVBN, the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
Every time I get a check, it means a trip to the bank. Well, not anymore. With a new mobile deposit feature on my banking app, you just snap a picture of the check, tap a screen, and you're done. I call it Easy Chair Banking.
Come home to Castroville State Bank. Member FDIC. Visit us online at castrovillestatebank.com. The pace of business is faster than ever. That's why when you need a business loan, you want a bank that can act fast. Not only do you get great rates and fast answers, you get the financial advice you need to keep your business growing. It's a better way to borrow. Stop by and let's talk. Come home to Castroville State Bank. Member FDIC. Visit us online at CastrovilleStateBank.com.
Are you ready for a vacation? Tanya with Travel by Design can help you with all your vacation destination needs. At no cost to you, she can plan all of the details tailored to your unique wants and needs. So all you have to do is enjoy your vacation. Tanya is a certified expert with Disney, Universal Orlando, and California, Sandals, and all cruise lines. Give Tanya a call at 830-931-4834 or visit her Facebook page, Tanya with Travel by Design, for all the latest specials and must-do vacations.
Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home in Castroville, Texas has been providing funeral services to families in the Medina Valley and surrounding areas for many generations. Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home is proud to support the broadcast by the Medina Valley Broadcast Network for the athletes and students participating in this event. Go Panthers! Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home, Castroville, Texas. You may view obituaries at Tondre, Tondre-Gwynn, Guinn.com, or visit the Facebook page of Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home to view funeral notices. You're watching Medina Valley Sports. This is the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.